Hello everyone and welcome to episode 120 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling series here on the channel, as this is the new era of New Japan here. My god, as we have a new president, President Ace, much like in real life, as far as, just a couple of years as far as ahead here. But as, Tanahashi's hung it up as far as no longer an active in-ring competitor, now full on in the office role, and this is his first tour, and not only that, his first kind of major title opportunities have been given out from the eyes of him, as far as making sure that he feels, as far as their first challengers, since obviously it's not like a New Japan Cup or it's not like a G1 where guys are earned through title shots, obviously throughout the tournament, but for this, a lot of this is just based off of recent performances, and not only that, it's as far as maybe potential former, winnings as far as in the past for some, and for others, some major marquee matches made along the way. And boy, as far as this first show, of course, the new beginning in the U.S., and we have a hell of a show. First of all, we're going to be in the Rose Bowl, which is going to be pretty crazy to think New Japan running the Rose Bowl. Not only running it, but selling it out. Will be a sellout crowd, as we have the card already lined up. We're going to run through it real quick here as far as what you will be seeing. 4 title matches on the card, and then 4 mid-card, undercard matches. So the main event, Juice Robinson taking on Will Hobbs for the U.S. title. So obviously with Tanahashi, he has had his history with Juice. A lot of people might be thinking, is this punishment for him beating Tanahashi and then leaving him laying as far as the last man standing matchup? Or is this more of a reward as far as giving an opportunity to be the U.S. champion? As far as, might be a little bit of both, as far as in the case of hoping, for Tanahashi, hoping Will Hobbs plants him in the middle of the ring, and maybe not even in the middle, through the goddamn ring. But that's going to be a fun little main event. Co-main event, though, we have, as far as 2 stars of yesteryear, especially for Nakamura, really yesteryear. Shinsuke Nakamura, Kazuchika Okada for the Never Openweight title. Of course, Okada just had his title matchup with Tyler Black, which, boy, talk about a couple of different ends of the spectrum with those 2 matches so far in 2027. But Shinsuke Nakamura and Kazuchika Okada, hell of a co-main. I think it would be a main event anywhere else in the world, but for now, it is the co-main. I do think Juice and Hobbs should be the better matchup, so that's why it gets the main event billing, and plus we're in the U.S. I feel like the U.S. title, it should at some point during a tour in this episode, or not this episode, in this series, should have a main event matchup. But of course, there's not just only this New Beginning in the USA show. There's obviously the New Beginning shows in Sapporo and in Osaka, which we'll talk about after we run this show. But for us, that's the co-main. Next matchup, New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team title matchup, Kyle O'Reilly and Hayato Tamura versus Jon Moxley and Shota Umino. So this is an interesting matchup because at the Osaka show, Jon Moxley, Hayato Tamura for the New Japan Strong Openweight title, since Moxley won the Rumble. This is a nice little prelude, but also has a chance for either Tamura or Moxley at the end of this tour to be a double champion. Of course, as far as for Moxley, he's looking to defend his belts with Shota Umino, and for Kyle O'Reilly and Hayato Tamura, looking to become the new Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions. And for Tamura, he'll at least be a double champion going into his matchup with Moxley, so that's going to be very exciting to see. Then Toni Storm versus Io Shirai for the women's title. As far as for this matchup, Toni Storm has had some success against Io Shirai as of, as far as the couple of New Japan Strong tapings we've booked. We kind of built up Toni Storm pretty strongly for this matchup against Io Shirai. And as far as with her, and as far as with Io and Toni Storm, I think a lot of people probably assumed it was going to be Ashley Flair and Io Shirai at some point for the title, but this is the first title matchup, at least for her, against the 4 Horsewomen. And it should be a hell of a matchup, though, to see how that plays out on the women's side of things. And for the non-title matchups, Riley and Hiromu Takahashi versus Daniel Makabe and Jonathan Gresham. Now, this is a great tag match, but, funny enough, Tanahashi, his first title matchup, heavyweight title matchup that he has booked, it's Riley versus Hiromu Takahashi. And the reason why, Fantastica Mania, of course, we saw Riley win the CMLL as far as I was thinking it was the World Heavyweight title, but it might have been the Light Heavyweight title. I'm thinking about it as, he won that championship, of course, in a big-time matchup as far as main eventing Fantastica Mania, and he felt like it was a bit of a dream match to bring back Ryu Lee and Hiromu Takahashi against each other. They haven't really faced off in a long time here in the save, and it would probably be about 7 years since they've had a match against each other from, as far as I believe, the last time the singles matchup was in 2020, so this is a long time coming for the heavyweight title, too. One of my favorite rivalries in the kind of modern-day wrestling, which obviously hasn't really been touched on as of late, obviously, since now he is, as far as Dragon Lee now, a part of WWE, but as far as, those two always had great matches against each other, and for the heavyweight title, I feel like that's a great showcase for him. So that's going to be a fun matchup. That will, of course, be at Osaka as well. At then in the next matchup, New Wave of Strong Style versus Designs of Perfection 8-man tag. So there will be a junior heavyweight tag team title matchup. It will be Atsushi Iwagi and Nobuhiro Shimura. As far as those two men of New Wave of Strong Style will be taking on the Designers of Perfection. To the Velocities tag team, as far as for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title, so they'll build up there. Eddie Kingston versus Roger Strong in a singles contest. Since we're doing Task Force Death and Dragon's Den, it made sense to have an undercard matchup involving those two, and really Kingston and Roger Strong just kind of fit the bill. And United Empire versus Task Force Death in a trios matchup to open up the show. This is actually going to be a hell of a trios match. It's a Death Triangle for Task Force Death, so Pac, Pentagon Jr., and Ray Fenix taking on Zack Sabre Jr., Falter, and Lee Moriarty. So at I believe it's at the Sapporo show, United Empire, of course the heavyweight tag team champions, will be defending their belts against the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and Ray Fenix. So that's going to be a pretty good matchup, obviously, as far as those two. I believe the first reign that, we'll go ahead and just close that out. I believe the first heavyweight tag team title reign, yes, they beat the Lucha Brothers for that, as far as to create their reign. So they have had their history in the past. Of course, that was in 2025. It's been a while. And they've already had a hell of a reign. The United Empire, of course, they won the belts at Dominion, beating Maccabee and Gresham last year. Looking for their 5th defense, too. So that's going to be a really, really fun matchup here. But, without further ado, we already got the show booked. Because I think a lot of people like it, seeing the show kind of ran like this. Nobody knows what's going on. So it's a nice little surprise. Let's see how it goes for the opening contest. A 91. Pac pinning Lee Moriarty with a shooting star senton. What a finish. But as far as Pac and Pentagon Jr. Ray Fenix, hell of a performance. They were the better team slightly. Mainly because Pentagon Jr. is better than Falter, which is kind of crazy, but this was a technical masterclass matchup, and Falter, just funny enough, not really fitting of that style. At least here in the mod, I would say in real life he definitely can do that. But yeah, Lee Moriarty with an 85, that's actually really impressive as well for him. So yeah, all around. We probably could have had the Lucha Brothers versus Lee Moriarty and Zack Sabre Jr., and it'd be like a better matchup, but we'll take the 91. Definitely. That was a good way to kick off the show. What's happening for Roderick Strong and Eddie Kingston? It's the Stronghold from Kingston, Stronghold from Roderick Strong, and 5:47. So really the finish would have been a sick kick. As far as only 5 minutes, I know it's a pretty short matchup, especially for kind of like a big-time show like this in front of 88,000 people, but we're going to have a lot of long shows on this card, a lot of long matches on this show, and wanted to make sure that the people in the packed stadium were able to get a nice restroom break in there. This is the piss break match. It's 81 for the New Wave of Strong Style versus Designs of Perfection, as Nobuhiro Shimatani and Atsushi Iwagi, of course, getting a little bit of momentum going into their junior heavyweight tag team title matchup. But as far as we also see Toa Iwazaki getting the win for this matchup. He gets the win with the backdrop hold in 1936. 61 for him. Really, everyone in the New Wave of Strong Style, in the 60s. Not a great, really showing for them. But they're not really used to America, so that's fine. Really, the only one that's used to America is Takeshi Masada, and even then, he's off his game. But really, it was just the Velocities carrying this one. Burberry Baba, the worst guy in the match, is pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. 91 here for Hiromu and Ryu Lee against Jonathan Gresham and Daniel Makabe. They were the better team, and Hiromu gets the one through Time Bomb in 2027. Great performance from the Hiromu and Ryu Lee team. Really good stuff there as far as building up a little bit of teamwork going into their title matchup. As Io Shirai beating Toni Storm with the Cloverleaf in 20 minutes. Great showing from Io Shirai in 88. It's one of the best women performances we've ever had, and her 5th defense as well of her women's title, which is very crazy, seeing as how she's only held the belt since December. Actually, no, I believe she won it at Wrestle Kingdom. So yeah, that's shocking. Shocking to say the least. And 85 for the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team title matchup. It's Jon Moxley and Shota Umino lose this matchup. It's Tamura with the face lock over Shota Umino, getting the win. A tough break, as far as Tamura and O'Reilly. They weren't the better team, but I think it was a good call here to give them a win. I think they're a little bit more of the more cohesive team. They have excellent chemistry as well. All around, I think this is a good call, and plus it gives a little bit of fire to Moxley as well, seeing his poor son have to tag it out to a face lock. The 70, or an 87 rather, as far as 78s from both Nakamura and Okada. Thank God we got an 87 out of this, to be honest, because those ratings were not good. As the High Drew Bomb from Kazuchika Okada makes his 2nd defense of the Never Openweight title, so he beats Nakamura here. The former Chaos leaders, battling it out. But even the old man Nakamura and somehow broken down Kazuchika Okada is, somehow pulling out an 87. Very lucky there in our main event. Oh, a 79. Well, that's what we get. As we have, so in this matchup, at one point, Hobbs is, Hobbs and Juice, they're fighting near the announce table. Juice, gets a chair, while as far as some distraction from Peace, Love, and War, Coughlin, as far as just, or Connors even, maybe both of them, distracting the referee. Hits Will Hobbs with a chair, and as far as he hits it over the post to kind of mimic like there was a sound, like it was something else that wasn't the chair for some reason. And as far as he's laid out on the table, Pac comes in from the crowd and is as far as springboards into the onto Will Hobbs after as far as coming through the crowd, and goes up to the but we'll say at the top rope and dives onto a laid out Will Hobbs and goes through the table as Juice, as far as distracts the referee after the ref's trying to figure out what the hell happened. So as far as the win there from Juice after Pac puts him through the table, as Pac as far as it's kind of hides out near the ringside area after putting him through the table, doesn't, escape through the crowd or anything like that, and waits until, the timing is right so he doesn't get caught. As Juice wins, and is the new U.S. champion. Afterwards, the post-show press conference, as far as for, a very fired-up Juice, as far as in front of a sold-out Rose Bowl, winning the U.S. title, his first U.S. title reign in probably 10 years, probably close to it at that point. Trying to remember, was that 2016 or 2018 when he won the U.S. title? I believe it was 2018. Now I'm thinking about it, but still, close to 10 years. As, he kind of, as far as gets a question from one of the reporters as far as did he feel like Tanahashi kind of set him up for failure. And he says that, he thinks he beat enough sense of the old man to know that as far as if New Japan is wanting to reach these bigger heights and as far as to be even a bigger 2027 for the company, as far as with press and with having these sellout crowds all over the world, that he knew, as far as the old man knew that he needed to have Juice in a title picture, and that's him beating Will Hobbs. Obviously might have been some interference, says with regarding Pac and Will Hobbs. He just says, listen, the enemy of my enemy might be my friend. As far as for Pac, sure, they don't see eye to eye. Sure, they're not a part of the same group. But there was a scheduled, I believe it will be at the Sapporo show, Pac and Will Hobbs. It was going to be U.S. champ versus Intercontinental champion, but now, obviously, Hobbs no longer the U.S. champion, so it will just be for the Intercontinental title. And for Juice Robinson, he gets the win thanks to maybe Tanahashi's own, as far as not thinking that Juice would stoop so low to get some outside help. And maybe, for Will Hobbs, maybe he didn't think that maybe he was overlooking it. Maybe he's thinking more towards the match with Pac. So we have a post-show press conference with also the former New Japan Strong Boy Tag Team Champions and Moxley and Shooter. Shooter a bit devastated, but Moxley just is trying to cheer him up and says, listen, these belts, they can have different initials, they can have different meanings, they can have different, as far as open weight, heavyweight, middleweight, just kind of goes through all these barbaric, hardcore, as far as Wired, even, name shows the CZW Wired title, all these different meanings, it doesn't matter. Sure, the championship purses are great to help keep the roof over the head and keep food in the stomachs of his loved ones, but for him, he's trying to reassure Shota Umino that, as far as these combat trials, if you will, as far as they help him out in the long run and make him a better man, and him and Tamura coming up, as far as for Jon Moxley, he is very much looking forward to it. He doesn't, every day you don't get to face a former heavyweight champion in Tamura, something that he wants to do as far as for the IWGP heavyweight title. Jon Moxley definitely has that in his goals as far as he wants to bring that heavyweight title to Task Force. That's in for him. As far as, he's been a champion before, a world champion before, and he wants to be world champion again, obviously, referring to the WWE title. But I think it's a fun little build for him, just to kind of put in perspective for Shota Umino, and also, he kind of did a press conference like that in real life, and I thought that was a fun little press conference he did. And as far as kind of the belts, sure, the meanings and the initials, it doesn't really matter. It's about as far as the combat, it's about going into war with somebody and coming out the better man, and that's what we try to get through with Shota Umino. And for Will Hobbs, a very frustrated Will Hobbs says that sure, he might have overlooked Juice Robinson, but he never expected something like this, using a chair, using outside interference. Says he might have let down the Dark Order tonight, but now he's got as far as for Pac, he's got a pissed off Will Hobbs, and he's going to do everything in his power to be the Intercontinental Champion. So for Will Hobbs, sure, he lost the U.S. title in a big-time main event tonight, but he's got his eyes set on the Intercontinental title now. So for Will Hobbs, it's a, maybe not a step back, more like a lateral step, as far as going from one title picture to the other. But all those press conferences actually went really well. Not a great show as far as what we're used to seeing. 91s are the best matches, not great. Especially those two being non-title matches. So that's not a great sign. But I think we kind of got... It would have been nice if these would have flipped, the ratings there. Give this what it's supposed to be, a 79, and give this what it was supposed to be, an 87. But even then, it still wouldn't have been up to our standard. But, that's the first of the 3 major shows of the tour. We still have a lot of, big-time matches left. And, I can't wait for Hiromu and Ryu Lee. I know that match is going to deliver. And I think Hobbs and Pac's going to deliver, too. So I think those, the Japan shows are going to go over a lot better. So for those shows, let's talk about those cards here. So the New Beginning in Sapporo show looks like this. So, we talked about the Intercontinental title matchup with Hobbs and Pac, and the Lucha Brothers tag team title matchup with Zack Sabre Jr. and Volter, and the Junior Heavyweight tag team title matchup with Etsuki Aoyagi and Nobuhiro Shimatani against the Velocities. Then for the non-title matches, Ryu Lee, Samurai Del Sol, versus Hiromu Takahashi and Jiro Kuroshio. So a little build up there before the New Beginning in Osaka match with a little Bomb Squad colliding match. Then the New Wave of Strong Style, which will be Toa Iwasaki and I believe Takeshi Masada. I could be wrong on who the 2 men of the New Wave of Strong Style might even be. Actually, I believe it is. Now I'm thinking about it. It's Yuto Nakashima and Yohei Oiwa. as far as they're taking on Kenta and Katsuhiko Nakajima. Dragon's Den versus Task Force Death. This will be a trios match. It's going to be O'Reilly, Tamura, Roderick Strong versus Kingston, Umino, Moxley. So basically taking the two singles matches we just saw, or the two matches we saw for this New Beginning show, in Moxley and Shooter versus O'Reilly, and Tamura and Kingston and Roderick Strong, making them into one match. They're also going to have Chaz Gable and Dominic Garrini against Kawato and Roosh as a little build-up to the Junior Heavyweight title match that's happening at New Beginning in Osaka, as far as Kawato and Chaz Gable. Of course, this match, these two, title matches, will be, kind of alluding to who's going to be the two champions in regards to what will be happening at the anniversary show. Will it be a new heavyweight champion and a new junior heavyweight champion? Will it be Hiromu versus Kawato? Will it be Riley versus Chaz Gable? Or will it be, as far as Hiromu versus Gable? As far as the other, or even Riley and Gable, or Riley and Kawato. So just a lot of different variables there. And also, of course, we talked about with Moxley and Tamura. Oh, also the opener. Los Ingobernables de Japón versus House of Black. I believe it will be a multi-man matchup with, believe it's going to be Sombra, Yota Tsuji, and Bushi against Tyler Black, Robbie Eagles, and Malachi Black. I could be wrong on that, as far as who's the third man for House of Black. But as far as the little follow-up from that, the Never Openweight 6-man tag team title matchup, New Wave of Strong Style versus Diamond K. Also going to see Sombra and Bushi versus Tyler Black and Robbie Eagles. Shirai and Kyriojo against Hanakamura and Starlight Kid. That should be a hell of a tag match. A little build-up potentially to a Hanakamura or Starlight Kid matchup against Io Shirai, or even give Kyriojo a win over one of those two top-level performers. Peace, Love, and War versus House of Torture, so maybe a little build-up to, with Peace, Love, and War, House of Torture, as far as maybe potential build-up to, Jay White and Juice. We might even do, just as far as depending on what happens with Will Hobbs, we might even replace House of Torture with Dark Order. Yeah, because I think that'd be a great way to maybe potentially see a rematch with Will Hobbs and Juice, maybe even Tankman and Juice, a lot of different variables. And then also, as far as to, with kind of follow-up from the New Wave of Strong Style Diamond K matchup on the card, we're going to open up the show with the former heavyweight champion, Konosuke Takeshita, taking on Yu Iizuka. And that's a big opportunity for Iizuka, my god. I mean, talk about, it's not every day you get the singles matchup with Konosuke Takeshita, a heavyweight champion, a former heavyweight champion. So that's going to be huge. As far as who's going to, who to put over, I think Juice, Hobbs, put those guys over there, had a great performance. And, Zach was great, Pac was great. Let's, Lee Moriarty. Did a great showing. Here's a hug. Come a long way. Come a long way. So that was the New Beginning in the USA show. Hopefully, those next two New Beginning shows will do a lot better than that did, as we are now on to the Road to shows for those two shows, as each one will have two Road to shows, so it should be pretty simple. As far as overall, this is a pretty seamless tour, as far as, 5 nights. As, on to the first Road to show we go to. Alrighty, the first Road to show, as we got wow, we have a lot backstage incidents. As Takanoritos, Raw for Wrestler's Court, accused of making a mess backstage and not cleaning it up, but knowing everyone else. What a piece of shit. As the judge, Shinsuke Nakamura, found no get the incidents and clean up and buy drinks after the show. Yuji Nagata passing on tips on psychology to his protege, the Great Okan. Ishii passing on microphone work to Tomoya down forward. Masahiro Chono passing on tips on psychology to his protege Kuma Imeya, and he's passing on microphone work to Shonen Shozaki, and then Brian Danielson's passing on microphone work to Jerome St. Pierre. Boy, those young lions have a wealth of knowledge at their disposal. Jesus Christ. So our main event, probably this Order of Destruction versus the Glory Bastards matchup, as Will Hobbs gets his revenge over Pac here, and a little bit of, as far as a nice little feather in the cap going into their title match as well. So we'll have two tag matches here. So first of all, the match that we're going to see coming up, as far as it's going to be a technical masterclass here, with Kenta and Nakajima against the New Wave of Strong Style, is Kenta getting the win. Because we're seeing that later on, it would probably be smart not to do, at least with that half of the new wave of strong style. We might be better off to use, yeah, I mean, Iwazuka's a great technical hand. We might use him and Nakashima just to change it up a little bit. Because I think Nakashima is the better technical guy out of the two. Just double check. Oh, and actually Oiwa is. Okay. That works for me. So Kenta's going to get the win. He's going to beat Izuka. Fortunate for Izuka on that one. The other new wave of strong style, as far as Machizuki, and then as far as Nibiru and Aoyagi, as they're taking on the Velocities, and Logan McQueen. As Itsuki Aoyagi's going to beat Logan McQueen there in 20 minutes. At least they get a win at some point during the show. Yeah, I think that's for the best. I'm trying to think who else we could have used for that. So I guess we could have used Masada or Iwazaki. Iwazaki, not the greatest technical guy, but he's probably the most over out of all of them. Takeshi Masada's pretty great, too. Yeah, let's see. Actually, I think we're fine with what we got. Yeah, we're fine. So the co-main event, I think it's going to be this Bomb Squad Suzuki-Gun matchup. So as far as Hiromu and Jiro Kirishio with, of course, Kawada taking on Chaz Gable, Dominic Guarini, and Claudio Castagnoli, as Kawada will be beating Guarini. So what a win for the challenger there. That is a hell of a victory. Then we'll have the tag matchup of Toni Storm and Ashley Flair. As Ashley Flair will be beating Io Shirai. That is a hell of a victory for Ashley Flair. Picking up a win over Io. Oh, you know, honestly, I think we're going to change that up a little bit. I think we're going to have it be Kairi Hojo. Build up to a singles match on Strong between the two. Then you do a title match, potentially. Or have Kairi Hojo beat Ashley Flair. I think that makes a little bit more sense. And then Naruto Takagawa against Jason Lee. Of course, Young Lion matchup as Jason Lee will be getting the victory in that one. I think we're going to split that. Yeah, there we go. I like that. I think it's going to go over pretty well. We should be good to go. Yeah, we just changed the opener. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could run Kanto. That's probably the best case scenario for this first night. Just run Cork and all. Actually. We'll save Corkin for another day. Trying to think. Yeah, I thought there was the Yokohama United Arena. It's got 5,000, so that will work. Obviously, we've run the Cultural Gymnasium a lot, but we haven't really ran there. Let's run it. 61 for the opener. Jason Lee and Naruto Takagawa. They have pretty good chemistry. It's not a bad little Young Lion matchup. But Takagawa in the 40s because of it, as he loses the Hong Kong Tornado, though. So 79 for Katsuhiko Nakajima and Kenta against Izuka and Oiwa. Yeah, Izuka's still got a ways to go, but he loses to go to sleep here. Kenta still pulling off incredible ratings, which is just pretty shocking. 77 for Ashley Flair and Toni Storm against Io Shirai and Kairi Hojo. Yeah, Toni Storm, I mean, she was the better of the two between her and Ashley Flair, which is pretty awesome, but Ashley Flair wins the figure 4 of Kairi Hojo. 78 for the new wave of strong style versus Signs of Perfection. Aoyagi beating Logan McQueen. Velocity's doing the heavy lifting on this one, which is no surprise. But 78 there. Another 78. For this trios matchup, Kirishio, Hiromu, and Kawado beating the Suzuki-Gun team. Boy, Claudio with a 62. That is tough. He was really off his game. Guarini was off his game, too. Just thank God Hiromu was in this match. This match would have been pretty bad. He gets the one the Kawado clutch, though, over Dominic Guarini. And our main event's an 87. Order Destruction beating the Gory Bastards. It's Doomsday Plunge from Hobbs and Tankman over Pac. Yeah, Pac with a 91. Moxley with an 80, with a 78. So he was the worst guy in the match. Tough break for him. Got the crowd hotter, though. So we send the crowd home happy with a pretty great main event. Especially for a tour show. That's a bit of a steal. As then the first day in the books, on to day 2. And then we'll be into the new beginning show in Sapporo. Alrighty, day 2 Yeah, so we got some backstage incidents again. So Tony Florian, one of the newest young lions, as far as he was accused of failing to pick up a share of the tab at the bar. Yeah, he's probably making maybe $10-$20 a shot. Let's let's probably not have him try to pick up the tab. As Nakamura will get the incidents by drinks after the show. It's all positive impact for him, though. And then Kenta passing on psychology tips to Masaki Fukuzawa. Alrighty. So we have BB Crawford and Kairi Hojo, which we just had her and Ashley Flair on the Strong taping. So, bit of a busy week for Kairi Hojo. Also have Takanori Ito and Samurai Del Sol, which is actually a really good match. Task Force Death, as that's going to be Pac with the Lucha Brothers, of course, Death Triangle versus versus Zack Sabre Jr., Volter, and Will Hobbs. So Zack Sabre Jr. going to lose to Rey Fenix here. Basically, the beefy men of Hobbs and Volter kind of get into a bit of a shoving match, and it turns into a little bit of a disgruntlement, and Zack's trying to be the peacemaker of the two, but he ends up getting caught by Rey Fenix. And as far as like maybe a poison rana from Rey Fenix, Pac and Pentagon Jr. maybe double drop kick, send out Volter and Hobbs. So to the floor, and they as far as Rey Fenix BDR 1 2 3 type of deal. So as far as that's that match. That's obviously the main. So Dominic Garrini and Chaz Gable against Rush and Demonic Mamba. It's Chaz Gable winning, beating Demonic Mamba there. A little win going into the Junior Heavyweight title matchup, United Empire and Task Force Death. Which, I don't know why we have this twice. Yeah, obviously we don't need this. Was this supposed to be another day, I believe? That's probably what happened here. Yeah, I think this was supposed to be a different day. So that's alright. We'll go ahead and just kind of keep that there, and we'll put it on another day. So we'll have the Takanori Ito Samurai Del Sol matchup. Ito getting the win there. And also BB Crawford and Kairi Hojo. As Kairi Hojo will be getting the win in 13 minutes. So wow, this is all over the place. First of all, it doesn't even have enough matches. So we gotta add 2 matches to this. Let's go ahead and make the Young Lion match a tag. So we actually have our first 2 ladies out of the Lioness Dojo. It's Midori Nishimura. And I forget the other one's name. Where is she? Yeah, I guess I can just go off female. Seiko Suzuki, as far as those 2. Suzuki, as far as she's got a crazy star quality. Did see that. Midori is kind of more, she does not have the star quality, but she's a little bit more, in-ring ready, I would say, out of the 2. But yeah, I just wanted to showcase them. As far as the Young Lions, so let's use Masaki Fukuzawa. Use him and Masahiro Hara. Let's see here. Trying to think, yeah, I mean, we get Miro, Brody King. Yeah, we'll do that. Have them kind of squash them. Brody King getting the win. Brody Miro. Nice. So there's that. So I think really, when it comes down to it, I think kind of the smartest play is obviously kind of build up, maybe potentially have the Lucha Brothers have a tag match. Well, no, we already have them in this match, so yeah, there's no need for that. Maybe have let's actually have Atsuki Aoyagi, and then Nobuhiro Shimatani. As far as I believe, we had them beat, I don't know why I hit title history, so I believe we had them beat, no we didn't, we haven't had them actually win Junior Heavyweight Tag Team matchup, so we need them to beat a team. I think Shelly and Kushida's, well actually Shelly's hurt still, so can't do that. We can do Kushida and Tomato, I guess. So we go with that. We can go Top Flight. That's always a good call. They're, you know, pretty high up their team. You could do, yeah, we'll probably just do Top Flight. 20 minutes. Let Nibiru get the win. I think that's a good call. It's tough, because the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title scene, as far as it's really just been dominated by the Velocities, of course, but, you know, they've already had 5 defenses. You know, as far as Airbender, Francesco Akira, we probably could have them, probably could have them lose. Could have also done Blast Off. I think that was a good call, though. We should have that be the co-main. Yeah. But that opener, you know, Takanori Samurai Soul, that's a... Right, technically, not the opener, but the, you know, non-Young Lion matchup is going to be a really good match. Yeah, we're all set, squared away. Just need to pick a venue. Oh, now we'll run Budokan, or not Budokan, Korakuen. There we go. Yeah, we're good for day 2 here. So 42. Miro and Birdie King squashing the poor Young Lions here. Yeah, poor way to start the show. Yeah, didn't really think of that one through. 69 for the opener. It's tough. Samurai Del Sol did well, but he loses to Takanori Ito as the diving splash, picking up the win in 17:31. Kyoto beating B.B. Crawford with a spear, 13:29. Hell of a match. Just, you know, some talented women in this one, but not really the best of matches, unfortunately. Man, because, you know, as far as Miss Crawford's not really over in Japan. Demonic Bomba and Rush getting, losing here, but, yeah, as far as Gable, at least getting the win over Bomba. The Korean Amplitude, yes, yeah, Dominic Rini, even after all this time, have, you know, as far as kept him away for a little bit, let him work elsewhere. Thought maybe him coming back would help him out a lot, you know, teaming up with Gable. It really hasn't been the case. Top Flight, oh my god, Atsuki Aoyagi and Nobuhiro Shimatani have 0 chemistry together. That is tough. So, as far as they beat Top Flight, but, at what fucking cost? My god. Dear god. What a terrible matchup that is. As far as that is brutal. And the main event, though, at 83, Zack Sabre Jr., Falter, Will Hobbs losing to the Death Triangle. Meteor from Ray Phoenix after, of course, you know, Will Hobbs and Walter get into it. The lead to the double team drop kicks and, you know, the Poison Rada, and, yeah, just as far as, yeah, like, you know, drop kicks them. They hit, you know, as far as they go to the outside, tandem topes from Pac and Pentagon Jr., and, you know, as far as, and then, you know, we get the Meteor from Phoenix with a, you know, single contest as far as a one-on-one in the ring, nobody there to break it up type of thing. The 78 for the overall quality. I'm actually surprised it was that good, because that tour show kind of stunk because of a terrible opener. So, there is that. Should not have booked a squash to kick off the show. It's not it. It's not it, Chief. But on to Sapporo we go. And hopefully, as far as we should have a great main with Pac and Hobbs. And also a great co-main with the Lucha Brothers versus Walter and Zack Sabre Jr. Hopefully everything else falls into place, and we have a pretty good show. Alrighty, so we have a sold-out Sapporo Dome for the New Beginning in Sapporo as our opening contest. 87, LIJ versus House of Black, Sombra. SB Kento and Yotsuchi against Tyler Black, Robbie Eagles, and Hayato Jr. Fujita as Hayato Jr. Fujita takes the Brilliante Driver. And what a performance from La Sombra and Tyler Black. Really, you know, House of Black, I mean, they were the better team. And probably could have got the win. Should have maybe got the win because of that. But El Songo Branables de Japón get the win nonetheless. All around, it was a good opener. 80 for Dominic Guarini and Chaz Gable against Rush and Kawato. Rush and Kawato, they have great chemistry. So how about that for the Bomb Squad team? Is Rush getting the win? The La Lanza? How about that? What a pairing. Who would have known? Who would have thought? As, yeah, that's a great one. Another 80 for the Dragon's Den versus Task Force Death. The trios matchup as the Dragon's Den team. Losing here to Task Force Death as Eddie Kingston with the Blackout Lariat over Roderick Strong, so he gets his win back. Over after losing to Roddy. I need a tough break. Probably shouldn't have done that. Probably should have gave it to Dragon's Den, but it was a good match nonetheless. And yeah, since the Dragon's Den they already won, it's a big night at the new beginning in the U.S. I just felt like Task Force Death needed a win. Probably could at least gave it to Shota Umino instead. But nonetheless, it was a good match, though. A decent match, I'd say. The 86 for the New Wave of Strong Style versus Kenta and Katsuhiko Nakajima. As Kenta with the go to sleep over Yuto Nakashima. Even though they have great chemistry, it is crazy Yuto Nakashima and Oiwa not even... I mean, I guess Oiwa was kind of close to Nakajima, but they really weren't close to the pairing of Nakajima and Kenta. And what a win for them, as of course they have their Trios title matchup coming up. But yeah, New Wave of Strong Style, not a great look, but they still have their Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title matchup. As the next matchup, the Bomb Squad little colliding matchup here. Riley, Samurai no Soul, not getting the win, as Hiromu and Kurashio getting the win. As far as wrong team wins, by far, Riley and Samurai no Soul, one of the best teams we have on the entire roster. Probably should have got the win, but the Hybrid Bomb from Kurashio getting the win, nonetheless, with an 86. As, yeah, it was a good show, or a good match, rather. So, 82 for the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title matchup, as there's some interference, as Paris de Silva getting the submission victory. So, Konosuke Takeshita takes out Ayawagi, and they brawl on the outside, whereas Nakajima and Kenta double team, as they do the old, basically what the Red Dragon finish, the vertical spike from Kensuke Nakajima as Kenta with the head kick. As, or even what they could do, even. Nakajima with the head kick, as Kenta's got him up on his shoulders for the go to sleep. That would also be a cool finish as well. Yeah, we'll go with that. So, just a 1-2 punch from Diamond K. Nobuhiro Shimatani. He doesn't tap. He's knocked out. He's unconscious. So, he's got the hold on. Referee just calls for it. And that is their 6th defense. What a win for the Velocities, albeit with outside interference, but they are still an incredible Junior Heavyweight Tag Team. And yeah, I mean, Nobuhiro Shimatani and Aoyagi, they're good. They're just, the team, obviously, zero chemistry. Just nothing we can do about that. Obviously, we weren't going to put the belts on them. We're down to 92 for the co-main. Lucha Brothers losing to United Empire, as that is their 5th defense as well. Volter pinning Pentagon Jr., and winning here again, and just the size, for Volter and Zack Sabre Jr. Really just Volter, it's just too much for Pentagon Jr. and Ray Fenix. As that is a 92, of course. So the main event is also a 92, as we have another interference with Juice Robinson interfering here, and with that victory, with this, Juice attacking with a chair, hits, as far as Hobbs in the back, leads to, as far as maybe a springboard move from Pac, maybe even just running off the ropes, and, just maybe a satellite DDT, something like that, or even just a Hurricane Rana, as, set him up perfectly for it, shooting star press, and, Pac getting the win, making that his first defense with the major assist from Juice, and afterwards, the post-show press conference says, as far as with Pac, just kind of laughing maniacally, the bastard that he is. Very, very pleased of the handiwork that happened as far as with Juice Robinson interfering with him. It's more of a, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Very much that. And as far as, listen, Pac helping Juice out, Juice helps him out. It's a win-win for both guys. And, as far as, sure, Will Hobbs, I'm sure is not going to be too pleased about it, but there's nothing more he can do. He's already lost both title matches, as, they try to get a press conference with Will Hobbs, and Hobbs is just not in a speaking mood. He's in a very foul mood. After being screwed over not once but twice this tour, yeah, he's, as far as, he refuses to appear for his press conference. So he was scheduled for one, but refuses to have one. So as far as the next one, and the final one of the show, is with a New Wave of Strong Style. It's Aoyagi, Shimatani, and Yuto Nakashima, Oiwa's there, and Ryota Machizuki's there. We didn't put Masada in there because we have to talk about Diamond K. As for Aoyagi and Nobuhiro Shimatani, just as far as Diamond K, with those guys, the old guard, and as far as what they've done for Japanese pro wrestling in the past 20 years, is all all well and dandy, but the new wave is here, and you can't delay the inevitable with them. As far as sure tonight, they helped out the Velocities, and we would have had our first chance at titles here in New Japan. But that's okay. It's okay, because the prize is those Never Overweight 6-man tag team titles. As far as for them now, it's a little bit more personal, and they want to beat Kenta, Nakajima, and Cody Umeda for those Never Openweight 6-man tag team titles. So maybe even so, a little bit more of added fire will give them that type of momentum and that type of desire to even overcome maybe the experience, maybe even the overall quality of that Diamond K team. So it's a nice little press conference for them. Yeah, as far as overall, the show definitely was better than the U.S. show. Main event, I was hoping it'd be better, but, Will Hobbs kind of shit the bed on us. Thought the tag team title match was going to be better, too, but, other than that, I was very pleased with the show, Sure, we had a couple of 80s, but that's the undercard. You're going to get that, but Quado and Rush being a good team, though, what a get. What a get. So, yeah, we'll put over Pac for his performance. We'll put over, Samurai del Sol. We're going to give him, because him and Ryu Lee, they probably should have won that tag match. That's besides the point. I'm trying to think who else to put over here. Trying to think. Tyler Black, he was great. Him and, Sombra, they probably should have won as far as House of Black, that opening contest. But, overall, good little show. Good little show there for New Beginning and Sapporo. Now, our final major show as far as the Osaka show. We get the major heavyweight title matchup with Hiromu and Ryu Lee. We get also the New Japan Strong, the open weight title matchup between Jon Moxley and Harrison Moore. So, quite the 1-2 punch coming up here for that show. Plus, we have, of course, our couple of Road 2 shows to get through before we get to Osaka. But that should be a hell of a show. What a bidding war. Kevin Steen, how about that? On to the next Road 2 show. We go. Alrighty, day 3 of the Road 2 shows. As far as a couple of backstage incidents, as Tomohiro passes on microphone work to Tomoyo Tom Ford, and then Kenta passes on microphone work to Masaki Fukuzawa. So, as far as our main event, probably this, there's not really a whole lot of major matches, but, this 8-man with Diamond K and the New Wave Strong Style as Konosuke Takeshita beating, as far as the New Wave here. We wanted to put over at least Takeshi Masada and Toa Iwasaki in this one. I think we're going to use, probably be smarter to use Tsuki Yawagi in Nobuhiro Shimatani. That'd probably be the smartest way to go about that. But yeah, as far as, now Oiwa doesn't need to be involved in the finish. Unfortunately, Masada's going to have to lose. So he is technically the worst guy of the 4. That is the main. Co-main, that's a good question. So we have Yosuji and Bushi against Shane Strickland and Christian Casanova. It's Bushi beating Christian Casanova. Let's change that. Have Strickland beat Bushi. Let's give House of Black a win here. Don't know if that's going to be the co-main. It probably should be this, even though it's not going to be a great match, just from a kind of the name value of this. That's Malachi Black beating Tetsuya Naito in this tag match, so what a win for the House of Black. Nice night for the House of Black, actually. Koji Kamai and Blast Off as Kazuchika Okada, Fuminori Abe, and as far as Kota Ibushi, Fuminori Abe, and Takuma Nomura against Koji Kamai of Kazuchika Okada, Vikingo, and Airbender, as far as that's Vikingo and Francesco Akira. So Abe will be beating Francesco Akira. So, the next Never Openweight title matchup for Okada will be Kota Ibushi. So we're going to build that up here with this. Abe getting the win there. Probably could have that be the co-main. Definitely is going to be better than that, so we'll go ahead and switch that. Hook and Chaz Gable against Kawato and Kurashio, as Hook's going to beat Kurashio. So nice win for Suzuki-gun, and then the technical match class as SB Kento, and Kuma and Meiya. So the Young Lion going to go 16 minutes with SB, even though it doesn't have the stamina for it, but it still should be a pretty good match. Oh yeah, let's run Sapporo since we just ran the big show there, so we'll just Trying to think. I thought there was a 4,000. There's the 5,000. So yeah, we'll just run the Kuroshio City Tourism International Exchange Center. We should be good to go. Yeah. So a major main event, you know, as far as having a lot of, you know, new blood in there. The new wave's really getting a heavy push. Yeah, SBE beating Kumameya. No surprise there. The TKO Flatliner, 1556. 72 for Chaz Gable and Hook against Kuroshio and Kawato. Actually pretty close, but yeah, Hook and Gable slightly better. Kuroshio was off his game, so it could have been even closer, but 72, not bad. Hook pinning Kuroshio, 72 again. Shane Strickland and Christian Casanova getting the upset win over Bushi and Yota Tsuji. Crazy that Bushi with a 71 still. He's like at his mid-40s. He's still doing well. Crazy. As Koji Kamai blast off the trios match with an 80. As, of course, Abe with the Shining Wizard over Francesco Akira. So Akira and Kudomura, the worst guys in the matchup. Could have, you know, either way, one of those guys is probably going to lose this one. Okada with a 69 is just fucking heartbreaking. So 79 for Sombra and Naito. It's Malachi Black and Tyler Black. My God, Malachi Black with a 49. Brutal. The end of the line for Malachi Black, pinning Tetsuya Naito in 20 minutes. At least Sombra and Tyler Black had a good performance. The main event's at 80. The 8-man matchup, Diamond K getting the win. As Diamond K, obviously, the far superior team. As Toa Izaki, and Tsuki Iwagi and Nobuhiro Shimatani just in the 60s, but yeah, they got a ways to go. That's the new wave. Feel like this is very much maybe a little bit more of a force of the new wave of strong style getting them over, but this is sometimes you just gotta jumpstart them into a pretty big level, you know, as far as feud teaming against a Diamond K team that's been pretty stacked since they've been involved. So that's just been kind of trying to help those guys, you know, elevate them. You know, with Diamond K trying to help elevate the new wave of strong style. But so far it hasn't really worked out. It's been good matches, but it hasn't been really good performances from them. So our final tour show is up next. Alrighty, the final tour show is here as a couple of backstage incidents. Tetsuya Naito passing on psychology tips to Hiroshi Miyoshi. Tomoe Ishii passing on microphone work to Tomoya Tom Ford. Masahiro Chono passing on microphone, or psychology rather, to Kuma and Maya. And then there's the microphone work as he's passing tips on microphone work to Shonen Shiozaki. So, of course, our big main event. As far as with Juice and Coughlin here, I think it's smart to pivot and go with Hobbs and Tankman. Even though it's a technical masterclass matchup, I think we'll change what will be the, as far as the technical masterclass matchup, as Theodore knocks something over. Just great. So as far as with this, have Hobbs beat Coughlin. 20-man matchup, though. So we got the Bomb Squad Trios matchup. As far as the, of course, the Mexa Blood team. Kawato beating Demonic Mamba. I don't know about all that. I think the Mexa Blood team should get the win as far as Samurai del Sol, Ryu Lee. But yeah, let's give Ryu Lee the win over Kuroshio. There we go. Vessel of TCS versus Donna Del Mondo. I think this will be the technical masterclass matchup. Maybe not. Don't really have it. As Rina gonna get the win for TCS though. And Oleg and Oscar. As far as the young lions here, I believe Kitamura is still not back, so we'll have it be Alexander and Okan instead. And Moxley and Kingston versus Dragon's Den of Tamura. And O'Reilly as Tamura's going to beat Eddie Kingston. New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Champs there. We could probably make this the Technical Masterclass matchup. Bushi's not really great at it, but everybody else is good as a Technical Masterclass setting. So yeah, we'll just go with that. And plus, Robbie Eagles beating Bushi makes sense, so there we go. Yeah, we've changed this card all the way around. But I still think it's going to be a pretty good show for the most part. If it did not get added, there we go. I was about to say. Oh no, it did. Just an idiot. What match didn't get added? It was this. Coughlin and Juice against the Order of Destruction. There we go. So this will be the co-main. Main there. We'll switch this out. Put this here. Yeah. There we go. I like it. As yeah, the show should be all squared away. Let's see. So I think we could run Osaka, because I think we'd be able to run the Osaka Dome no problem, even if we ran here. It'd probably be for the best if we didn't run there, though. Because we just got so many different places we can run. Yeah, we'll run the Hiroshima Green Arena. That works for me. We're all set. Let's run it. 58 for the opener. Alexander and Okan beating Oleg and Oscar. The big laird from Okan. 945. It's a 69 for Bushi and SB Kendo against Hara Jr. Fujita and Robbie Eagles. It's the Robbie Eagles the Pulse Drop. In 1946. It's actually a decent little matchup. Yeah, Bushi, even though he's not really great technically, still in 61. 79 for Moxley and Kingston against Tamura and O'Reilly. Great showing there from Tamura with an 89, my god. Yeah, him and O'Reilly definitely the better team. He wins with a jackhammer in 10 minutes as well. The 72 for TCS and Donna Del Mundo. Nice win for TCS. Itsui Sumai, though, as far as 56, 58 for Rina. So as far as the worst girls winning there. Hana Kimura, best girl in the match. Followed by Starlight Kid, really no surprise. And 87 for Coughlin and Juice against Order Destruction. Order Destruction getting the win to Doomsday Plunge from Will Hobbs over Coughlin. And then the main event in 83. Bomb Squad versus Bomb Squad is the Rodilla Dragon from Riley over Jiro Kurashio. Hiromu with an 87, Riley with an 88. Cannot wait for their matchup, as it is just around the corner. On to the New Beginning in Osaka show. We go. Alright, the New Beginning in Osaka starts off with Konosuke Takeshita beating Yu Iizuka. As far as, yeah, I mean, obviously Takeshita, incredible. Probably going to give it a little bit more time just for it to be an important match, but it really wasn't an important match, so for the sake of, you know, it being what it is, I think an 18-minute matchup was fine. Probably a little too far, you know, as far as a fucking former heavyweight champion and Konosuke Takeshita going the distance, or not going the distance, having a, you know, 16, 18-minute matchup with somebody. Probably not the smartest idea, but it, you know, it would help elevate at least Iizuka, even though he ends up losing out in the end, as the Dark Order Peace, Love, and War Trios matchup. Brody Lee getting the win over Caveman Oog. Figured he was going to outperform him, and he did. And this was a Steal a Show matchup. Actually, pretty good trios match. You know, Tankman, Hobbs, Juice, all in the 80s. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So 62 here as Kana with the mist into you know, Hana Kimura. As as far as the Cloverleaf with a misted Hana Kimura faced, I think is pretty great visual, pretty great finish, and you know, kind of a blinded Hana Kimura, and you know, as far as the hush of the crowd, hopefully, as with that as well. I think it's a great moment for him, and even though the fans hated the ending, it's still a 62. So I'll take it, even though it would have been way better without the interference. Maybe we didn't have to directly lead to that being the finish, but nonetheless, it was still a good match, especially Io Shirai's 87. Again, she's just been incredible. Definitely the best signing we've had as far as from the women's side of things. So 93, Tyler Black and Robbie Eagles against La Sombra and Bushi. Tyler Black with the God's Last Gift over Bushi. I mean, dead even, damn near. Literally was dead even. You know, could have went either way. Went with House of Black, though, and really good match, though. Really good match in front of a sold-out Osaka Dome crowd as a 78 for the Never Openweight 6-man tag team title matchup. And we do have new champions as the New Wave of Strong Style get the win as they beat Diamond K. Tsushi Aoyagi with a submission victory. Gets the win in 20 minutes. Aoyagi with a 68. Oiwa with a 66 at least. Just Yuto Nakashima, though, with a 55. Big tough. Big tough. But new champions. New champions. And, Nakajima at least was the worst of the three to lose. At least it wasn't, Yamada, Kenta. But, yeah, I think it was the right call. Diamond K, they're a great team. They don't need to have openweight 6-man belts. For the New Wave of Strong Style, this is the beginning. How they just debuted last month, and now they've already got some gold. So that they are getting to work very, very quickly. Yeah, chronic upper back pain for Kenta is tough, and it was Nakashima who caused it, so just great. The 76 here for the junior heavyweight title matchup, Chaz Gable with his second defense. Grand Amplitude getting the victory over Kawato. So we'll see who will be taking on at the anniversary show here in our main event. But first, we get the co-main. We have a New Japan Strong Openweight Champion, and it's Jon Moxley. Beats Tamura with the Death Rider. So he avenges his tag team loss with Shota Umino with a win and getting the New Japan Strong Openweight title. And really the perfect guy for the New Japan Strong Openweight title scene. And really, to be the face of the New Japan Strong brand. I mean, you can't go wrong with somebody that, like, Jon Moxley. It's awesome. It's a great get. Great get. What a co-main. And our main event is a 96 as Hiromu wins with a time bomb. He beats Ryu Lee. As post-match, get a big hug. No hard feelings. Like, hey, listen, they went to war. So one man had to come out as the victor, and it was Hiromu. No hard feelings. Afterwards, they had the post-show press conference where Hiromu and Ryu Lee, listen, we've been through wars throughout the years. This one, this was the culmination of all the hard work, all the sacrifice, all the, trips to Mexico, trips to Japan, as far as both guys, have traveled around the world battling it out. Battles in America, battles in Mexico, and now battles in Japan for the IWGP Heavyweight title. And either way, Bomb Squad was going to walk away with the victory. But the big thing now is for the anniversary show, Kawato, he couldn't get the job done tonight, but for Chaz Gable, he gets to face now the heavyweight champion, and for Hiromu, he's got revenge in his heart for Kawato as far as to get the win over Chaz Gable potentially at the anniversary show. We also have Moxley as far as as far as I think for Tamura and him to have kind of a physical war, maybe some blood for Moxley, and as far as they beat the fuck out of each other and just one man survives type of thing. But for Mox, he's now excited to go back home with this New Japan Strong Openweight title, and the brand of as far as the New Japan Strong brand being an American show for an American worker, he's as far as it'd be great for him to be back home with his family, so he's excited for that, to be able to kind of have more obligations in the States. But he, as far as he's issuing out a challenge for everybody. Anybody that wants to show up on Strong and want to fight, he's not a hard man to find. So as far as kind of tells it out to everybody before he sends it off. And our final one is the New Wave of Strong Style, which they did horrendous in this post-show press conference. As the New Wave, listen, they just said it's been light work already. The New Wave is here. Warned everybody, we told everybody. Last month, we showed up that the New Wave is coming. Like a tidal wave, kind of take over New Japan. We started with this, the Never Openweight 6-man tag team titles. We missed our chance at the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions because of that team. But they are still locked in and want all of the gold here in New Japan to showcase the New Wave of Strong Style is here. That these young and up-and-coming stars are not only the future, they're the current, and they want to showcase that with, obviously showcasing their talents as well in major title matches. So as far as, they're feeling confident, feeling, the ego's been inflated. I feel like they've, this is, the first step of their goal, but they're maybe a little too inflated, maybe a little too big for their britches, maybe potentially. Maybe they bit off more than they can chew as far as beating a team like Diamond K. I'm sure they're not going to let that rest easy. Terrible post-show press conference for them, but obviously a tremendous main. We knew about that going in. Hiromu and Ryu Lee for the heavyweight title. Successful retain for them, but with a new champion with Jon Moxley, and that match actually did a lot better than I anticipated. Tamora's rating, I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know where Tamora's gone, but he has just fallen off the wayside, it seems like. Not sure what happened, but Moxley with a great rating. We definitely want to put him over. Honestly, just put over him, Hiromu, Ryu Lee. And, yeah, I mean, I would have loved for the junior heavyweight title match to do better than the 76. But we'll take it. At least it was in the 70s. Or, you know, at least it could have been a lot worse. At least from that perspective. But that will do it for episode 120. Thank you all for watching. And we'll catch you guys next time. And, boy, you know, this week it's been a hectic schedule. We're going to look to try and get everything back on track. So we'll hopefully be back for next Wednesday for episode 121. Take care, everyone.